Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now, and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind, and all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. 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 Oh, we can fly again.
Atomic particles traveling near the speed of light do decay more slowly than stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature. slows down close to the speed of light, special relativity provides us with a means of going to the stars.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport. My name for F1 Championship, and what a season it's and out of the way as we go into the final round here, and we've already crowned our champion and leaving the pits for the final time here on this long championship is PN Motorsport. He will be the first car to leave the pits. He has gone out onto the medium tyre, as I've now got a fancy little display on my phone, so I know what lap times people are doing, what telemetry I have on my phone as well, so I can know exactly who is what sector. So we've got a couple other cars. Matt Imovic, your F1 champion. There he is in. Oh, and he does a great job of just crashing into the back of a car there, and he already gets himself a 5-place grid penalty. So a great start for Matthew there. As for some reason my internet is not wanting to work. So great start here. Why is it not turning on? Why is my Wi-Fi turned off? On my laptop. So obviously if my Wi-Fi wasn't working, we wouldn't be able to see what's going on. But Matt Imovic will gain himself a lovely penalty already to the evening, but he's already won the championship anyway. So nonetheless, Matt Imovic will be gaining himself a 5 grid place penalty. And let's have a run through the drivers here this evening. We do have all sorts of drivers. Fury currently still on the pits in the McLaren, with Craig also out in the Williams. He's already made contact with Matt Imovic. And Gary 131 back in the Aston Martin, the Constructors champion, going to be hitting the track with Bryn in the Mercedes and Rabbit Joe in his Haas. That Buddy Boy in the Alpine and A Smith in the AlphaTauri. Matt Imovic in his championship winning car, the Aston Martin, coming back into the pitch, and DJ Phil in the Red Bull. Also PN Motorsport in the Ferrari with his teammate Big Boy Brasier. And these guys are currently out on track. Those are the tyres. They are going to be using their best tyres as well. And let's get a full track map, as we do have someone setting a sector now. Someone has gone purple first sector. We've got a few cars going through the sector 1 and setting purple sectors. That's PN Motorsport was the first one to set the purple sector, but he won't be the fastest so far. As I really my horrid Wi-Fi here is not wanting to play ball whatsoever. I hope that it is working. It is, so that's something. Again, apologies guys, I'm just trying to figure out exactly what is going on. As PN Motorsport sets the banker here this evening. said, I am trying to sort things out with the internet. I don't know what's going on. Been trying to figure this out for a while and it's not wanting to play ball whatsoever. And I'm sick to death with F1. As I think it's now starting to improve ever so slightly. I'm not sure. Hopefully you guys can see it a bit more clearly now and it's not buffeting too much. But Big Boy Brasier sets the fastest lap of the race so far on the medium tyre. Still a couple of guys to go out on track. Slutty Apex has managed to get himself into the McLaren, which is good to see. Lucas Ruff currently on a lap time on the medium tyre. I'm about to abandon my telemetry because I had to keep checking the stream on my phone instead of my laptop because the laptop is not wanting to play ball right now. So hopefully the stream is sorting itself out. I hope that it's not too bad for you guys. But currently PMO is a Ferrari 1-2 at the minute. Argent currently in that third place position. Gary 131 still in the pits. A lot of guys still in the pits. Matimovic returned back on track. Once again, apologies for any issues with the stream. I'm trying my best to figure out what is going on. Currently fastest lap though is Big Boy Brasier. Goes faster again. Rabbit Joe now up into second place position. He's found pace in that Haas, and Lucas Roth currently in fourth as well. So it's Ferrari versus Haas at the front at the minute. As Argent's gone into the wall, he's gone wide and made contact with the wall. Who else is on a lap time? Slutty Apex has just slowed down a minute. He's looking to try and maybe clear some space. He's slowing right down here, trying to get some temperature in those tyres. Tell you what I am going to do. Let's just check my actual stream itself. Right, okay, so let's have a look, see here. I don't want the live chat. We got a yellow flag in the final sector for some reason. We got a slow car. That is Craig. He's just trying to stay out of the way as Matimovic now goes third. Somewhat a bit off the pace of Big Boy Brasier, who sets the pace at this minute. As Matimovic comes down the back straight now and into the slower section of the track. Looking to try and improve on his lap time and get himself a little bit further. He is purple middle sector. He did say he was going to start on a hard tyre or not even qualify. Obviously Matimovic deciding to ignore what he was going to say, but he's going to go set a lap time instead. So we've got less than 9 minutes now left of this session. As Matimovic comes into the final corner, has he improved on his lap time? That is the question. Towards the line he comes, and Matt does take pole position on the medium tyre. What can anybody else do? Slutty Apex goes third fastest overall. Lucas Roth still trying to find a little bit more pace. He's currently in fifth place position. Viewers still set a lap time. Fury, Gary, Bryn all still yet to set a lap time. That Buzzy Boy coming into the final few corners now. What can he do on this lap? He runs a little bit wide, but towards line, that Buzzy Boy goes third. He's third fastest on the soft tyres. We got a car coming through the final sector now. It is Lucas Roth who crosses the line and does not improve. He will stay in 6th place position. We got A. Smith coming into the final few sectors now. Can he improve on his lap time here? Sector 2, there's a car slow in sector 2. That's probably Matovic going slow as A. Smith crosses the line now to start his flying lap here. Sutty Apex, the next car to come towards the line here. In the McLaren, there's still a tough fight going on between some of the teams. I would like to look at it, but sadly the internet on my end is playing up and I can't seem to get any of it to work. But now, Sutty Apex into the final sector now. Can he improve on his lap time? Final corner now. Sutty Apex currently 4th fastest. He crosses the line, he finds improvement, but he doesn't go ahead of that Buzzy Boy. He's currently in 4th place. We've got Goten Duffin into the pits with Matovic as well. We've got a yellow flag, which has now cleared. We've got A. Smith currently on a lap time as well as Brin's on an outlap with a Haas right behind him. That is Rabbit Joe. So, A. Smith, what can he do in the AlphaTauri? Looking to try and improve on his lap time here. Into the final sector he goes now. A. Smith, he's got a little bit of traffic of a Haas. I think that's Rabbit Joe. And Rabbit Joe allows him through. So, A. Smith, what can he do? He's got a fresh set of mediums. Oh, he touches the curb and somehow avoids hitting the wall, and that is that lap ruined for him. As Sutty Apex, has he gone on a hot lap? That's the question. As that was Lucas Roth was coming into the pits. So we now got Sutty Apex. Don't think he's on a fast lap here. And towards sector 3 he goes. Sutty Apex still currently in that 4th place position. I think this is probably an in lap for himself. We've still got a few guys who still haven't set a lap time. Fury, Gary, Bryn and A. Smith still yet set a lap time. DJ Phil also another one to still set a lap time here. Sutty Apex into the pits. That's Rabbit Joe on his medium set tyres. He's done his best lap time on the soft, so far that's what he's going to be starting on. Into the final sector, Rabbit Joe comes. In the Haas, what can he do to improve? Abu Dhabi's been known for not the most exciting Grand Prix, especially in the previous years, but with the new changes that came in, especially last year, the most dramatic one we've seen yet, as Rabbit Joe does improve on the medium tyre, and that is the tyre he's going to be starting on so far. Craig E currently going down the 1st sector, as Gary 131 finally exits the pits, as Bryn is currently on a hot lap and is on his way into the final sector now. Sends it into penultimate corner, needs a good exit out the final corner. Towards the line he comes. Bryn, what lap time is this going to be? It's going to be P9 for him at this stage, his teammate. Slowest of all so far, Goten Duffin, but he has got a few drivers who still yet to set a lap time. As Gary 1 through. Oh, Gary clips that curve quite badly. And towards the final few sectors he goes as Argent is on his way out. A few others on a lap time. I believe Craig E will be the next man to set a lap time here. Currently 10th place so far. Can he find a little bit more time and get ahead of Bryn? Currently on the medium, soft tyre. The faster of the tyres. Soft, medium, hard, and he's on the softs. This should give him more performance. And towards the line, Craig comes. Oh, he gets a bit of curb. Does he improve? He doesn't, and he'll stay in 10th place position so far, but some guys are now starting to come out with fast laps as Rabbit Joe is into the pits as Lucas Roth starts his lap. As we got that Buzzy Boy currently on a lap time, he's coming towards the final sector, but he chooses to bail as well. Bryn next to come to the line to set a lap time. He's into the final sector. So Bryn currently staying in that 9th place position right now. No one really improving at the minute. Argent currently on an outlap, but Gary 131 is on a flyer. What can Gary do? But he's into the final few corners, a little wide through the boat section. Can he get a good exit here through to into the penultimate corner? Gary 131, you're a Constructors champion here with Matahimovic for Aston Martin. Exits the final corner. What lap time does he produce? He takes pole position here. Gary 131 on the soft tyre goes fastest of all. And what a lap time there from Gary 131. He goes top of your tables here. Currently out on track still. Craig E into the final corner. Is he going to improve on 11th place position? He finds some time, but he does not improve. Lucas Roth on the soft tyre. What can he do? He goes third. The Hat goes up in the 3rd place position ahead of the big boy Brasier of the Ferrari. Matt is done. Big boy Brazier's done. That Buzzy Boy Sutty, Rabbit Joe, PN Motorsport. They are all done for the session. A. Smith crosses the line and he goes 6th fastest. Lap times are starting to improve. Bryn into the final sector now, still on the medium tyre. Is he going to improve? Dean Wasocki, hello everyone, and good welcome Dean to the chat. And Bryn bails out. So, who is on a lap? DJ Phil is on an out lap, but Origin is currently on a flyer right now, 10th place position. Is he going to improve on 10th? Final race of the season, and all these guys will want to finish the season on a high. As Argent, there's a yellow flag in the final sector. That's Gary going slow, but Kieran Argent towards the line. He will get one more lap in if he has enough battery power, but towards the line. Does he improve on 10th? He goes up to 9th, and PM Motorsport has no answer. Gary 131 now is your pole man. Who's that in the background? That is Fury, and Fury will just be able to set one lap time, but he's dropped it. He doesn't even get to set a lap time here. Fury is out of qualifying. Now, Fury's granddad in the chat says, evening all, good luck to everyone. Thanks, Dan, for all the excellent work on the comms this season. And PS, go Fury. Thank you very much, Fury's granddad. As Craig E goes to the final corner, does he improve? He improves his lap time, but he will not improve his position. So it's down to the 2 Red Bulls and A. Smith. Has A. Smith found any more time in the AlphaTauri? He hasn't got his teammate to support him here. Towards the line, A. Smith does not improve and will stay 6th overall. It's just down to the 2 Red Bulls. Argent has pulled out of his lap time. DJ Phil last to set a lap time here. As he has crashed out in qualifying. Fury's granddad says, oops. But DJ Phil, he's got one shot at this. He's left it to the last minute. And what can he do here? Fury at DJ Phil into the penultimate corner. Final corner here for the final time here in Simplay Motorsport. The F1 Championship's coming to an end. The last qualifying session is done, and DJ Phil will start in 12th place position. Argent will peel into the pits, and that is qualifying over. The last qualifying of the season, and it has gone to this man. Gary 131 is your pole sitter. Aston Martin once again will be on the front row for another 1-2 front row start. Gary 131 is your pole man here. Matimovic will start in 2nd. 3rd is Lucas Roth. 4th is Big Boy Brasier. 5th is that Buzzy Boy. 6th is A. Smith. I'm not sure if A. Smith is on a lap time. I don't think he is. If he is, I don't think he is. He's coming to the line now. No, it's just the AI going around. He is good start 6th. 7th is Sutty Apex. 8th is Rabbit Joe. 9th is Argent. 10th is PN Motorsport. 11th is Bryn. 12th is DJ Phil. 13th is Craig E. 14th is Goten Duffin. And bringing up the rear is Fury for the final time here in the F1 Championship. What a season it's been. Matt Imovic and Aston Martin have been the guys to beat. Green Pies and Alfa Romeo gave it a very good shot. But it is going to be an Aston Martin back on pole position here. Again, Gary 131 will take your pole position here. As Matt did also get a 5th place grid penalty, so it won't be a 1-2 for Aston Martin. So Gary 131 on pole. Matthew will have to start down in 17th position, I believe, but he will be on the medium tyre. But it's going to be an interesting race nonetheless. A lot of drivers doing different strategies, loads of different tyre choices here. Who's going to be the fastest of them all? Can Lucas Roth get himself up into the front row here? That is the question. But guys, get your votes in on who you think is going to win the final race of the season. Is it going to be an Aston Martin? Is it going to be one of the previous winners of either Matt or Gary or Green Pies? Or Gel Ram's not here to race either, so Green Pies nor here to score points or race either. As Fury said, Mum's in the chat saying evening all, hope you all had a good weekend. Come on Fury. Fury's got it all to do, starting from the back of the grid. And we have got a very long race ahead. As the drivers make their final adjustments and changes. I finally have internet on my phone. Not on my phone, on my laptop. So hopefully I can find out a few little things. But it is the last race of the season. Who is going to come out on top? That is the question. It is Gary 131 on pole position with Keegs, aka Lucas Roth, alongside him. Lucas Roth probably wanting his only chance to be in the lead of this race, and he pulls away. But it is Gary 131 who is your pole man. Lucas Roth will start in 2nd place. Big Boy Brasier will start 3rd. 4th is That Body Boy. 5th is A. Smith. 6th is Sutty Apex. And 7th is Matahimovic. In 8th place position will be Rabbit Joe. And in 9th place position will be Argent. 10th is PN Motorsport. 11th is Bryn. 12th is DJ Phil. 13th is Craig E. 14th is Goten Duffin. And bringing up the rear is this man, Fury. He will finish this qualifying order here. And for the final race here at Simplay Motorsport, it's been a long season, but it has come to an end. Aston Martin, a reminder, are your Constructors Champions. And it is an Aston Martin driver who is your Drivers Champion. It is this man, Matahimovic, is your champion. He is passing cars under formation order, which, again, I don't really like to see, but they do it anyway. As we are about to get underway for the final race of the season. Gary 131, Lucas Roth, who is going to come on top? That is the question. As they come into the final sector now. Aston versus Haas. Ferrari versus Alpine just behind. This is going to be a great finale race for sure. Like I said, championship tables have pretty much been wrapped up. Still close fight. McLaren can catch Alfa Romeo. They just need to score good points here. Need to score at least a great fight between AlphaTauri as well. Gary 131 has got that 3rd place position, but Sutty Apex, PM Motorsport, all these guys still got a championship to fight for. Also, Big Boy Brasier looking to make places also. As they line up for the final time here. for the 16th round of the championship. The season finale is Gary on pole. Lights come on. And we're green here, and Gary gets a decent start as Lucas Ruff wheel spins quite a lot, but we are green here, and Matimovic is already trying to force his way through the order. But Gary 131 goes wide. Lucas Ruff is right behind him on no soft tyres. The two soft tyre runners are now running away with this as everyone's managed to get going. As we come down into turn 4. And right now Matimovic is having a fight with Sati Apex. They are fighting it out here for these earlier positions as Fury's already made a run up to 10th place position already. So what a start from Fury. As we see them now all go down the back straight. Lucas Ruff really hasn't had the best of starts either. He's not been able to jump Gary at the start, but nonetheless he's got big boy Brasier. And we go down towards the slower part of the section as Lucas Ruff sends it down the inside. And he now leads this race, but Gary 131's coming back down the inside and he pushes him wide. The Ferrari of big boy Brasier now comes underneath and gets the position and it goes wide. That's now allowed Lucas Ruff to come back in, but that Buzzy boy is also not too far behind. As they all funnel their way through into the final sector, Lucas Ruff still trying to defend heavily from big boy Brasier, but Gary still leads this race. Matimovic has managed to clear Sati, but he hasn't got very much further than that so far. There's a few other guys slowly working their way up. PN Motorsport dropping right to the back, but Gary, fastest lap of this race. Yellow flag in sector 3. Who's dropped it? No, they've all managed to keep going. There's probably a car gone wide. I think that was Bryn. Bryn's coming to the pits, but Gary now can stretch his legs a little bit. Let's get the tyre. Let's get the tyre information up. That's what we like to see. But it is Gary 131 who leads this race. That's his pit strategy. Looks like a 3-stop for possibly him. As that Buzzy boy has dropped it and he's gone round. He's going to have to wait for a clear path to get back on track, but he's spun it around again. He's going to have to wait for the pack to miss him, but PN Motorsport has hit him. Luckily no damage, and that Buzzy boy gets a 5-second penalty for avoidable accident there. And that's going to give Matimovic another position. That's a virtual safety car already here. There's Gary who still leads this race. Gary 131 leading away with Lucas Ross in second. Big boy Brasier in third. Fourth is Matimovic. Sati Apex currently in 5th and A Smith in 6th. Fury's worked his way up into 7th place position, done most of the order. Arjun in 8th. 9th is Rabbit Joe. 10th is DJ Phil. Goten Duff in 11th. Craig in 12th. That Buzzy boy in 13th. And PN Motorsport with the front wing damage in 14th place position. And bringing up the rear is Bryn, who's not able to catch up to the back of the pack because obviously these guys have to stick to a set speed delta that they've been given. As these guys will get themselves prepped and ready to go. As the virtual safety car should hopefully be ending very shortly. But it is still Gary leading this race. And big boy Brasier is looking down the inside, even though we're still under virtual safety car. And that Buzzy boy gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under virtual safety car. And Craig has lost the place to DJ Phil because they're both into the pits, as is Goten Duffin. They're all into the pits, as is that Buzzy boy. All these guys pitting now. That Buzzy boy serving his 5-second penalty. And away they get to work on his car. But all these guys got going once again. Matimovic not able to stick to the back of the guys in front of him. DRS is already enabled. Lap 3 here, and it's been enabled as Lucas Ruff now under pressure from big boy Brasier. Jamie goes up the inside of Keegs. Well, Keegs is going to try and outsmart him here. Is he going to get the DRS zone? He does, so he uses the second DRS zone to now attack the Ferrari. Big boy Brasier having to defend the inside, but Keegs is going to have to go around the outside. Can he get the job done on the outside? No, he can't. As we've got all sorts of scraps going on here. Fury has made a move on Sutty and A. Smith. So Fury now up in the 5th place position. Recovery drive from him, and he's cleared all this lot. A. Smith now has lost out to Argent as well. So all these guys changing positions left, right and centre as Big Boy Brasier has managed to keep hold of his lead. That Bozzy Boy is now in 11th as these guys are still changing position. Goten Duffin and Bryn are changing positions. Goten Duffin makes a position as DJ Phil just sits behind them. There's moves happening left, right and centre. Bryn for cutting the corner. He's got a 3-second penalty. Lucas Roth now under pressure from Matahimovic. As they go through turn 1. And Matt now right on the back of Keegs, but he gets a tank slapper there and is unable to stick with Keegs there due to the fact that the dirty air of the Haas has just unsettled the Aston Martin ever so slightly. The two McLarens a little bit off the pace at the minute, but that's where they need to be. They need to be scoring points to outdo Alfa Romeo right now. Gary 131 with a comfortable lead at the minute. Has got away from Big Boy Brasier from the DRS zone as Keegs. Lucas Roth is now under pressure from Matahimovic. And he goes through. Pass. But now Keegs will be able to use the DRS for the second part of the straight. He gets a wiggle. Matt very slow out the corner as Keegs doesn't have DRS. So he must have crossed the line exactly the same time as the Aston Martin and can't find a way through. Sutty Apex DRS on his teammate. Can he find a way through on his teammate? No, he can't. He'll have to stay behind him. Argent now still ahead of A. Smith with Rabbit Joe not too far behind. Relatively clean races so far. We've managed to keep all cars on track. We've not lost one so far. I hope I've not cursed them though. As they all work their way through the order. And Lucas Roth just losing the pace a little bit to the leaders as Gary 131 sets the fastest lap of this race. But Big Boy Brasier goes and smashes it straight after. So Gary in first, Big Boy Brasier in second, Matimovic in third, now Lucas Roth in fourth and losing touch with the leaders. We've got a yellow flag in the final sector, and that is Craig E. He's hit the wall and that is his session done. That is his F1 championship done for this season. Craig E, sadly, after doing so well in Brazil in not crashing out, he's now crashed out here at Abu Dhabi, and sadly he's not going to score any points here this evening. Such a shame. As now Bryn comes into the final sector. As we are now under safety car conditions, the safety car will be deployed. And it's out on track. All these guys now, probably the soft runners will probably think about coming into the pits and getting rid of the softs. You probably have done. Yes, I have, and I already have. As they all now come into the final part of the track. These guys just clearing the Aston Martin safety car. And ironic how we do have the Aston Martin safety car here this evening. The championship winning team, Aston Martin, have got their safety car out on track as that Bozzy Boy doesn't want another drive through. But there is the Aston Martin safety car. Just getting themselves around the track. And it's still Gary 131 who leads the way. Sutty Apex now moves out because Lucas Roth has decided to pit. He's now wanting to get off those soft top from wing damage, I think. So he has come in. I think I might have to just stop the stream a minute. Because I need to figure out what is going on with this internet. Apologies now if I suddenly disappear, but we'll be back with you momentarily as soon as I figure out what is going on.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Watch me elevate. I was born to win, now watch me elevate.
Apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully that should have fixed it. Things look to be a little bit better. Let's see if we can go on board with some of the cars. Yeah, the internet seems to have sorted itself out again. Like I said, apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. As that body boy gets track limits, I'm assuming. Trying to figure out where I am as safety car is in this lap. Oh, as that body boy's just dropped it there. As DJ Phil catches the back of the pack and slows right down. Everyone slowed right down because Gary 131 is now going to carry this pace on. And we are green here once again. And Gary will continue on as he leads the rest of this race. Finally back where I finally got my boundaries right. Right, Gary carries on leading with that big boy Brasier currently in second, Matimovic in third, Sati Apex in fourth. A. Smith has got very wide, and that's a massive accident. A. Smith and Arjun, a massive accident. Both drivers are out of this race. Wow. What a crash that was. If that's not a safety car, then I don't know what is going on here. But both of those guys are out of this race. There's another car round. Is that Goten Duffin? Yes, he has dropped to the back of this pack. And back on circuit he goes. And we're green after that massive accident. We're still green here, and big boy Brasier is just on the back of Gary 131. We got another yellow flag. That's that Buzzy boy who's out. What is going on with these drivers? And that is a safety car. So Buzzy boy is out of this race. All sorts of chaos going on now, as we are back under safety car conditions. Does Gary 131 choose to pit this lap, as Matimovic just on the back of these guys as well? The two McLarens moving their way back up. Fury's already back up into 5th place position already, so he's made a great recovery. So the two McLarens currently 4th and 5th at this stage. Gary has opted to pit now. He gets his tyres done and out the way. He's going to drop down the order ever so slightly as Brin's into the pits, as is Lucas Roth and PN Motorsport, as is DJ Phil. A lot of people coming into the pits. As Kieran says in the chat, was a separate incident with me and Smithy simultaneously spin into the wall. That seemed to be a nasty accident. We need to know what happened to that Buzzy boy as well, because he ended up in the wall somehow. We're not sure how he ended up in the wall, but nonetheless, that's really shaking up the order ever so slightly. A couple of the guys into the pits. Again, I'm not sure why my laptop's not wanting to connect to the internet, so I can't give you certain bits of information. But now it's Big Boy Brasier who leads the way, with Matimovic in 2nd, 3rd is Sutty Apex, 4th is Fury, 5th is Rabbit Joe, 6th is Gary 131, and 7th is Goten Duffin, with Bryn in 8th. 9th is Lucas Roth, 10th is Piano Motorsport, and 11th place is DJ Phil. Once again, and hopefully we can have a quick restart so we can get back underway as soon as possible. As Fury was one of the early pitters there. So he is now the first man to have pitted. He's got some fresh mediums on his car. As we are going to go for another lap behind the safety car. It's going to be Big Boy Brasier this time who's going to control the pace. So what can Jamie do in this? As Liam's not happy with DJ Phil. So that's what's happened between him. It looks like DJ Phil was stopped in the middle of the track, and that Buzzy boy has crashed into the back of him. As we should be able, hopefully, to get underway back to racing after this lap. So here's Ferrari who are leading the way. Can a Big Boy Brasier get his one and only opportunity to win here at Simplay Motorsport in the F1 Championship? He has been waiting all season to do so. Can he finally get that monkey off his back and score some decent points here? So as the safety car is in this lap, Big Boy Brasier will lead the way with Matimovic in second. Third is Sati Apex Fury in fourth. Rabbit Joe in fifth. Gary 131 after pitting is in sixth, with Go 10 Duffin in seventh. Eighth is Bryn. Ninth is Lucas Roth. 10th is PN Motorsport, and 11th is DJ Phil. How does Jamie handle this one? Big Boy Brasier now backs the pack up. As we are about to get underway once again on lap 10. Here, the final round of the F1 Championship. Guys, if you haven't done so, then please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit the bell to be notified for when we are live, so you don't miss any of the action. The British Touring Car Championship still carrying on, as will the GT3s, but we're about to get underway. We got some exciting things coming your way, but Big Boy Brasier gets on the pace. He hasn't had the best of restarts because Matimovic is right there, with the two McLarens just behind as well. So we are green once again, and we start at lap 11, 44 to go. And it is Big Boy Brasier who leads the way. How quickly can Gary clear this traffic on his fresh mediums? But away they go. Big Boy Brasier leading the way with Matt in second. Sati Apex in third, and looking to try and attack the top two as he goes a little bit deep into the chicane. As the rest of the guys feed their way through, as Lucas Roth looks down the inside of Bryn but can't get the job done. Gary 131 has cleared Rabbit Joe already, so he's now onto the back of the McLarens. It's going to be a couple of laps until the DRS is enabled, but it's Matimovic who's looking to make a move on Big Boy Brasier, but thinks better of it and waits a little bit longer. Through goes Big Boy Brasier. Matimovic currently still in that second place position. Can he find a way through? As we've got a yellow flag in sector 2. Why is that? It's Rabbit Joe. He's gone round. He's had a spin and he's got going again. The two McLarens still batting at each other really aggressively to one another, but they need to work together to try and score some points here. They need it to try and beat Alfa Romeo. Look at these two both going at it. Third and fourth, Fury and Sati. Fury is going to be ending up in the back of Sati's car in a minute, and this is just going to help Gary 131 even more to extend Aston Martin's championship fight. Go 10 Duffin now up in the 6th place position. Lucas Roth is slowly working his way up through the pack on those soft tyres. He's looking to the outside of the Mercedes. He can't get the job done there, so he'll have to wait a little bit. Oh, as Lucas Ross has a wiggle. The cameraman thinking he was going to go to the outside of the track, but he ended up on the inside. As they all funnel their way through turn 1. Go 10 Duffin has lost out to Lucas Roth, and Keegs has gone through. Now who's next to try and get past? It's Bryn, his own teammate. As he bounces over the bumps there, as Gary's now right on the back of the McLarens. As they go down the back straight now. Sati Apex still trying to defend from his own teammate, which is allowing the top two to get away. This will be frustrating Gary like mad. As they go into the next part of this long straight section. Fury has not got the best drive here, and he's gonna lose out here. Sati will stay ahead. And Gary's not able to get any closer. Matt has brought the gap down 7/10, but Bryn now is under pressure from PN Motorsport, who looks to the outside. Is he going to get past Bryn? He's going to be trying to be later on the brakes. Bryn is going to keep his nose in front, but PN Motorsport thinks better of it, and they nearly come together. The two Mercedes nearly hit one another, and now that invites DJ Phil to have a look. But we go back to the front, and it's Matimovic who's still trying to find a way past Big Boy Brasier, but can't find a way through. The McLaren duo still duking it out, while they still got Gary 131 breathing down their neck. Oh, Gary hitting the curb quite hard there, nearly losing the rear, as Matt sets the fastest lap of this race. As I believe DRS is now enabled. Yes, it is. So these guys were able to use DRS. Extend that gap between the guys behind him. But Big Boy Brasier coming down towards turn 1. He goes purple sector 1. Jamie now trying to stretch his legs over Matt. Matt now just a little bit of wheel spin as we got a yellow flag, and that is Lucas Roth. He's in the wall. That's another safety car for sure. Lucas Roth is out of this race. Keegs has done. Now everybody who's on track now will score points. Lucas Roth, the last man to be knocked out of this race. Such a shame for Keegs there. He will not be able to score any points. So it's big boy Brasier now still leading this race. The two McLarens still duking it out throughout this whole time as we went green. Ow. That's I just bashed my elbow. What a final this is turning out to be. Loads of racing going on. The two McLaren boys who need to score points ahead of Alfa Romeo, who haven't got a single person here to help them out, is too busy fighting with one another. And they've got Gary breathing down their neck. Gary now can look after his tyres a little bit. So Gary in 131 behind the safety car doesn't have to push. He just has to look after those tyres. Will any of the leaders come into the pits? That's the question. Matimovic, Big Boy Brasier and Matt both come into the pits. Do either of the McLarens? No, they're going to stay out. Well, Fury does anyway. No, Sutti's come in. Sutti is into the pits. So it's going to be Fury who will lead this restart. Both of these two have done their pit stops, and Fury has actually come out in front of Gary. So the pit stops has worked a lot better for Fury in this sense. Who else is going to come through? Goten Duffin, is he going to clear this group of cars? Well, at the minute, I think he might be able to jump Matt here. Maybe Jamie. There's Jamie. Is Goten Duffin going to stay ahead of his father? Not quite. Matimovic managed to stay ahead of this Gagua of cars, but Sutti is in this group. So that's really not worked out for Sutti whatsoever. Rabbit Joe into the pits and puts on a fresh set of mediums. Biggest loser out of all that has to be Sutti Apex. He is now down in 8th place position. Definitely not what Sutti would have wanted whatsoever. He's now stuck behind DJ Phil, PN Motorsport, Goten Duffin, and then it's Matimovic. But it is Fury who is now the lead car. So it's going to be Fury who will resume at this restart. Three drivers and 3 restarts already. Both Aston Martin safety car. Obviously the championship are winners here. And what can Fury do now he's leading this race? Gary 131 also on the same strategy. Is he able to do anything in that position as well? These two with a bit older tyres than the rest behind them. As they all get themselves lined up. I'm just making sure my phone is keeping up to date with the live chat, as I believe it is. As it is Fury leading this race with Gary 131 in second, Big Boy Brasier in third, and we've still got 40 laps to go. Matimovic in fourth, Goten Duffin in fifth, Piano Motorsport in sixth, and DJ Phil in seventh, Sutti Apex in eighth, ninth is Bryn, and 10th is Rabbit Joe. As it all comes slowing down, everyone pretty much in the AI. Bar Fury so far. Yep, AI. Everyone's in the AI. Bar Fury and Rabbit. You can just tell by their movement that they are all in the AI. Which is, if I'm honest, kind of boring to see. These guys should be the best drivers and they should be able to control their own cars behind the safety car and not hit one another. It's not difficult, but nonetheless, they've all opted to put the AI in. So what is Fury going to do about this restart? Is he going to leave it to the very last second, or is he going to go relatively early? That is the question. He needs to score some good points for McLaren, as Big Boy Brasier is very laggy there. What can these guys do? As we are about to get back underway here. Fury now is in control of the pace. He can't stop start. He has to keep a nice, smooth, consistent pace. Some of the others will get caught out, but Fury coming into the final sector now. He's got to allow the safety car to get a little bit ahead. But Fury now into the final sector. When's he going to go? He's gone. Fury has caught Gary napping there. No, Fury stopped again, no. Fury had the jump, he could have gone, but he didn't. He chose to slow down again. Fury made a big error there. He should have just carried on going, but Gary's caught him again. But we are green here. A yellow flag all the way around. I'm not sure why. Now we're eventually green. That was very, very odd there. As Piano Motorsport, all these guys are getting caught out here. Gary, Sutty Apex has gone wide. So has Rabbit Joe. What has happened to Sutty Apex there? Sutty Apex now right on the back of DJ Phil. I'm not sure exactly what happened to that restart, but Gary now is putting pressure on Fury. Fury has got all the pressure of the guys behind. And Gary 131 looking to try and make a move on Fury, but Big Boy Brasier is right there as well. He'll want to try and get a good drive. It's McLaren versus Aston versus Ferrari versus Aston. Big Boy Brasier gets a better drive out of the corner. He's on the outside of the Aston Martin. Now Matt Imovic is having a look. Matt is on the soft tyre. He's on the quicker tyre. But Fury's under massive pressure from the Ferrari. He's gone deep. He's gone very deep. And that's allowed Big Boy Brasier through and Matt Imovic. But Fury is trying his best to stick with it, but he cannot do so. And he has lost out to Big Boy Brasier and Matt Imovic. Matt now, with those soft tyres, can he clear and pass Big Boy Brasier? Meanwhile, Goten Duffin still trying to defend from Bryn. As Bryn's just tapped the rear of him and he's gone round. He's damaged the front wing, but he's managed to keep it out of everyone's way. As you see here, Sutty Apex now on the back of Goten Duffin. As Big Boy Brasier has dropped it. He's got front wing damage. Safety car deployed. Oh my god, all sorts of chaos here. As Gary's managed to get back into the pits. But it's Matt Imovic who's leading the way. I was just seeing the chat, Matt saying in the chat that the last British touring car video that we've had has finally hit 1,000 views. So thank you to everybody who's watched that video. Massive thank you, and hopefully we can get another big views on the touring cars on Tuesday night once again as they head for their 6th round in the championship. They head to Silverstone National. That's going to be an interesting race, and hopefully what weather is circling around we don't know, but Gary 131 has been into the pits, has his Big Boy Brasier, so is DJ Phil and also Bryn. All these guys having to pit. But Matt Imovic now in the lead of this race with the soft tyre. Fury in second, and Goten Duffin is up into 3rd place position. Sutty now up into 4th, with Piano Motorsport 5th, and Rabbit Joe in 6th place position. Piano Motorsport on the hard tyre. He is going a long way into this race as we have another safety car once again. I just have to say again a massive thank you to every single person who has watched the touring car race. It was an epic race, even with myself, John Boy and Plava, all those guys putting on a great show, as Gary's received a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. So probably a bit of frustration from Gary there to try and catch onto the back of the pack. Big boy Brasier has opted to go for the hard. He's going to the end then. So both Ferraris have opted for that strategy. Guys, if you haven't done so and you are new to the channel, then please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Every like and subscription here helps us massively, and we want to give you the best show that we could possibly give you. Fury is into the pits. He's given himself a fresh set of mediums. But like I said, every single view, every single like really does help us out here at Simplay Motorsport, so we can give you the best show that we can possibly give you. F1 is coming to an end, but we plan to bring a new series in replacement of these guys. Let's just say this man will not be in his F1 car no longer. Rumors are we're thinking about possibly doing an ACC short league in the mid-season break for the GT3s. Have a little bit of racing on the ACC, and also we might return back for F1, but not for the F1 cars. Looking to go into F2 for an F2 short championship. But at this minute, the running order for the final race here at Simplay Motorsport for F1 2021. It's Matimovic who leads the way with Sutty Apex in second. Third is PN Motorsport with the hard tyre. Fourth is Rabbit Joe. Fifth now is Fury, who's opted to pit and put the medium tyres on. Goten Duffin's also pitted. He's now gone and put medium tyres on his car. With Gary 131 in 7th place. DJ Phil is in 8th. 9th is Bryn, and Big Boy Brasier has been into the pits once again and put the medium tyres on. Probably not what Jamie would have wanted right now. So Big Boy Brasier will get onto the back of the Snake. It's just a classic thing how I'm trying to get everything sorted and organised for this race, and everything decides to go wrong on my internet side, which is a classic thing to happen. Well, we have managed to get it sorted and bring you the best action for the final race here. As PN Motorsport, he's looking to come into the pits. He is coming into the pits. All these guys really do choose the weirdest times to pit. The best opportunity to pit is when everyone's not in a concertina. But nonetheless, PN Motorsport coming into the pits. Oh, he's got front wing damage. That is why he has got front wing damage. And all the drivers put their cars under the AI. Bar Fury at this minute. Everyone under the AI. And PN Motorsport is on his way back out on track onto the soft tyre. What a lap times can this man do on those tyres? So the group all bunch up once again. The Ferraris are back of the pack. As we're about to get back underway once again, as these guys all like to deploy the safety car for some odd reason. Back under racing once again. And safety car is in this lap. Now it's Matimovic's turn to control the pace. We've had Gary, Big Boy Brasier, Fury, and now Matt. 4 safety cars, 4 different drivers controlling the pace. How do they run this now? Matt controls the pace. He's got Sutty Apex right behind him. Sutty can go a lot longer on his medium tyres. Are these guys back under control? Matt's under control. They're all pretty much out of the AI bar Goten Duffin. As we're about to get back underway once again here. What can Matt do on those soft tyres? He's got Sutty right behind him. Sutty Apex will want to stick to Matt as close as he possibly can and make sure he goes with him on the restart. as we're about to go underway. We're back in green racing here as Matovic carries on going as we go into turn 1. But it's Matt who leads away, Sutty in second, third is Rabbit Joe, fourth is Fury, and he's got a run on Rabbit Joe. He's trying to push his way through. Gary's already cleared Go 10 Duff. There's all sorts going on behind. The two Ferraris going wide. And look here, we have DJ Phil and Bryn changing positions. We've also got the Ferrari of Big Boy Brasier just lagging out a little bit there. But Rabbit Joe has been done by Fury. Looks like he's going to get done by Gary 131. What has happened to Rabbit Joe? He's very slow. But Sutty Apex has managed to stick with Matt here. And is on the back of him. Big Boy Brasier has now cleared DJ Phil. And into the chicane they go. And Sutty Apex still not able to stick with Matt, as obviously he's got the softer tyre on. Bryn has been awarded a 3-second penalty for multiple track limits, I reckon. It's Fury now. It's just ahead of Gary. Both of these on relatively fresh tyres. Rabbit Joe on older tyres, and Bryn now is the cork between Big Boy Brasier, DJ Phil, as we get racing once again here. As Matovic sets the fastest lap of this race. And you would have thought so on those medium tyres. But Sutty Apex is trying to stick with him as Gary's into the pits, possibly for front wing damage. And I think all these guys will be very happy to get this season done and out the way. No more front wing changes. I think Gary takes the title for most pit stops of the season. I might actually have to count up how many pit stops Gary has done this season. It's been quite a lot, if I'm honest. But it is Matovic who's still leading away from Sutty Apex. Fury now up into 3rd place position with Rabbit Joe in 4th. And Bryn currently in 5th place position with Big Boy Brasier looking to try and make a move on the Mercedes. He's looking to the outside. Can he get the job done? Oh, he's already gone through the Mercedes there. Jamie, whoa, Jamie is really bouncy here. Jamie's internet really starting to affect him, and he somehow managed to get ahead of Bryn as Bryn bounces over the curb to try and find a way past Big Boy Brasier, but he can't seem to do so. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. Why is that? That is Go 10 Duffins. He's out of spin. Oh, Gary nearly hits him, and Go 10 Duffins retired. Why is that? Got a safety car out again. Safety car is deployed once again. And Go 10 Duffin is out of this race. He will score 1 point though. I'm not exactly sure how that happened, but and Matt once again just misses the safety car. So far, every time that Matt starts to clear a gap with his soft tyres, safety car gets deployed, and all that time that he gained is lost. So he will have to close the pack back up once again, which Sutty and Fury will become onto the back of them with their medium tyres. Come into the back end of the circuit. So it's Matinovic who leads this race. Second is Sutty Apex, and third is Fury. Fourth is Rabbit Joe. Fifth is Big Boy Brasier. Sixth is Bryn. And seventh is DJ Phil. Eighth is Piano Motorsport. And bringing up the rear is Gary 131, your pole sitter, currently at the back of this race. What can Gary do now after so many incidents that have not really helped him whatsoever? He's taking his time to catch on to the back of the pack. But what can Gary do from this position? But Matovic, his teammate, leads this race.
He's, you know, going down into...
A lot of guys not opting to pit this time. So we should hopefully be able to get back and racing. And once again, most of the drivers opting to put the AI into the car. So Matt still behind the Aston Martin safety car in the Aston Martin F1 car. Be absolutely perfect as Gary was up there as well, but once again Gary getting caught up in the incidents to drop them to the back of the grid. Lucky number 13 on his car. PM Motorsport in 8th, DJ Phil in 7th. Like I said, all these guys will score points. 6th is Bryn, 5th is Big Boy Brasier, 4th is Rabbit Joe, 3rd is Fury, 2nd is Sati Apex, and Matimovic will control the pace once again here. So we should be able to go back underway. As the safety car is coming into the pits. As we are about to get back underway here. For the final round of the championship, we are coming up to the halfway point. The season is almost over. Towards the final corner they come. Matimovic controls the pace. Sati is ready to pounce. What can Sati do in second place position? Can he get the jump on the mat as they go into the final corner? If I was Sati, I would have nailed it out that corner, but nonetheless, Matt has got the jump over Sati. Has Sati got pressure from his teammate? Yes, he does. Fury is pressurizing him. He's got Rabbit Joe and a Big Boy Brasier right behind him as well. But Fury now looking much racier here, wanting to clear his teammate as quickly as he possibly can. But Matt now has got the pressure of not just one McLaren, he's got two McLarens breathing down his neck. Meanwhile, Rabbit Joe is under massive pressure from Big Boy Brasier. Gary has cleared DJ Phil and is on his way to now try and get past Bryn. As Sati and Fury aren't able to stick in Matt's slipstream as he comes down the back straight. Matt trying to break the toe there. As Big Boy Brasier now goes down the inside of Rabbit Joe, but he goes deep. Does he get it? Oh, no, that's just him lagging out. Oh, as Bryn's clipped the curb, he's managed to keep it going. That's going to invite Gary to have a good run on him down this back straight. Gary 121 looking to the outside of Bryn's, moves right out of his way. And Bryn losing that position to Gary 131. Meanwhile, the two McLarens too busy jostling against one another. And they can't seem to find a way to catch Matt now, who's got Big Boy Brasier breathing down their neck. You can see there, Jamie very, very laggy. Matt's extended his gap once again after one lap behind of green flag. And Matimovic has made a 2-second gap. And has pulled away from the rest of the guys already. So Matt is on his way. Up towards turn 2 they go. Matimovic pulls that gap on the group behind. Sati and Fury too busy racing one another as DJ Phil was into the pits. As we got a yellow flag, sector 1. Why is that? Bryn is in the wall. He's had damage. And according to this, big boy Brasier has not... He's in 9th place position, apparently, according to this. I'm not sure why. But Jamie really laggy at the minute, and he's not able to stick to the back of the McLarens, as Gary now looking to make a move on Rabbit Joe. As they go through sector 1, big boy Brasier still classified as 9th. As he got a yellow flag in sector 1. I'm not sure why. Fury now up into 2nd place position. Bryn is out of this race. Bryn has retired. What has happened there? He's gone away down the main straight there. We'll stay on board with DJ Phil and just keeping an eye on the gaps. We want to know where Bryn's car is. Bryn, there he is. I'm not sure what's happened there, but Bryn is out of this race. Sutty Apex has lost the position to Fury. Fury now up ahead of Sutty Apex. Can Fury hunt down Matahimovic? Meanwhile, big boy Brasier is right on the back of Sutty. Gary has cleared Rabbit Joe. DRS is now enabled as we are down to 8 drivers here. Matt's mediums will be beginning to start to hurt for him now. And he'll have Fury wanting to hunt him down as quickly as he possibly can. Meanwhile, big boy Brasier is looking to try and find a way past Sutty Apex. Big boy Brazier's lag really bouncing all over the place here. I don't know how bad it is for the drivers, but for us, we can see him bouncing all over the place. And Sutty using the DRS to stick with Fury here. And Fury now just under a bit of pressure from Sutty Apex and big boy Brasier. The pack is just strung out a little bit as Sutty now gets the run on his teammate, and Fury doesn't really fight that too hard, but he hits the back of Sutty there, and he possibly got wing damage there from Sutty Apex. And Fury bouncing all over the curve there. He's going to be vulnerable to big boy Brasier, who possibly look down the inside. Oh, he gets very close to the back of Fury, but we're bouncing all over the place. All these guys are battling out for the final few positions. We've got less than half of the grid left, and we're just coming up to halfway of this race. As Matahimovic sets the fastest lap of this race. And Fury is under some massive pressure. Gary sets the fastest lap of this race. And Jamie just looks like he's all over the place here. Fury under massive pressure from that Ferrari that's just bouncing all over the place. But Gary's going to be on the back of these shortly. Fury tries to get a good exit, but big boy Brasier will have the DRS zone as to go down the back straight. Jamie, DRS wide open. Fury probably not able to defend because he doesn't know where that car is going to be. And Fury tries to brake later than Jamie, but Jamie gets the car stopped and goes through up in the 3rd place position. As Fury gets a big wiggle there, big tank slapper as he exits the corner, and he's now under pressure from Gary131, who's got DRS somehow. He's managed to stick within the distance of the cars in front, and Gary now is able to try and chase Fury down. Gary131 goes a little bit wide there. He's trying to stick with the guys in front. Fury now losing a place to a big boy Brasier. This is your main fight on track between these three. But Matt now extending his gap to Sutty Apex. Who's now going to become under pressure from the ever-lagging big boy Brasier. So Sati now ahead of Big Boy. What does Big Boy do now? Does he just take his time and try and get a good run? Is he into the DRS zone? Yes, he is. DRS for Big Boy Brasier, as does Fury, as does Gary. But it's Sati Apex who is coming under pressure here as they go towards the slow stopping chicane, and Big Boy Brasier goes deep as Sati makes contact with him, and Big Boy Brasier loses out there. DRS zone open. They all get the DRS. Fury's now coming back under attack here on Big Boy Brasier. They're all going to attack Sati Apex. He defends the inside. Fury has to back out of it. Big Boy Brasier is going around the outside. And Gary probably sat there enjoying this, thinking, when's it my turn to have a go? But Big Boy Brasier gets away from the two McLarens relatively quickly, and Gary 131 is now stuck behind both of them, while the two McLarens are trying to catch on to the back of the Ferrari. Great racing from these lot, and also great racing from the McLaren boys, figuring out where that lagging Ferrari is going to be, and they managed to figure it out perfectly there. But Matt, now with all this going on, Matt has extended his gap to 5.3 seconds. He is well up the road now. Fury, is he able to sit with Big Boy Brasier? No, because Big Boy Brasier now is able to extend his gap to Fury, who's in third. Fourth is Sati. Fifth is Gary 131. Sixth is Rabbit Joe. Seventh is PN Motorsport. And eighth is DJ Phil, well off the order now. As Sati Apex manages to get the DRS zone on his teammate, as he has sent it down into the next corner. He is ahead and gets ahead of Fury. Now, Gary is right behind Fury also. Look at this DRS train. Fury pulls out to go the inside of Sati. Sati then goes to the inside to defend from Gary. Gary's going to go around the outside. Is he going to get the job done? Yes, he does. Gary 131 around the outside of Sati Apex and gets the job done. Gary managing to pull all that move off brilliantly. Now he's got to try and focus on Fury. As Matt's soft tyres are probably starting to cry right now. 6/10 off his best. As we've got a yellow flag in the final sector. Why? Oh, Fury's dropped it. Fury's given Gary that third place quite easily now. So now Gary can chase after Big Boy Brasier. But it's still Matimovic who's leading this race. Fury's going to drop right down the order. He's going to be down in 7th place position. He should stay ahead of DJ Phil quite comfortably. But Matimovic has built up a comfortable lead since those guys have been too busy racing with one another. Sati, did he get the DRS zone? Yes, he did. So he's able to still keep with Gary 131, but Gary's younger tyres is going to help him out. As I said, into the heavy braking zone of turn 7 and 8. And into the DRS zone once again. Sati Apex. Has he got enough straight line speed to do Gary into 9 and 10? He goes down into the braking zone. He's gonna get it stopped. And he stays ahead of Gary. Gary's gonna have to concede that one. And all this time they are losing time to Big Boy Brasier. It's all about looking after the car here, not getting too close in the dirty air, so that you're not affected by that. You don't lose too much tyre wear, and then you're able to attack once again into the DRS section. Gary goes a little bit wide there, losing the car a little bit. Gary 131 looking to try and find a way past Sati Apex right now. can Gary do from this point? Can Gary find a way past Sutty Apex as he's into the DRS zone? DRS should have been deployed, and it has been deployed. So Gary's getting closer. Is he going to get close enough? Is he going to want to send it down the inside? Yes, he does. And he goes very deep though. Has Sutty managed to get the undercut? He tries the undercut. He's going to get the DRS zone once again. He's very wide though, but he uses the DRS to go right round the outside. And Sutty Apex stays in front of Gary 131 once again. These two having a great little fight for third and fourth place positions right now. Just as they did in Mexico, they're carrying on from where they left off. Gary's going to go around the outside here, and he gets ahead of Sutty. Sutty's going to stop him. Sutty pushes him wide, but Gary's still on the inside, and he now pushes Sutty wide. No, he gives him the space, and Sutty's going to drive around the outside. Oh, they're nearly making contact and nearly hitting the wall there, as Sutty Apex and Gary 131 getting very, very close there. Gary running very wide on exit there. Sutty now is able to just stay in front of Gary 131. And they have lost touch with Big Boy Brasier, who is long gone into the distance. Lap 32 here. We're coming towards the end of this race. 23 laps still to go. So all still to play for yet. As Fury sets the fastest lap of the race on the soft tyre. Gary is going to look around the outside of Sutty Apex here in the hairpin. He doesn't quite get the drive, but he's a lot closer for the DRS zone. Gary gets the DRS wide open. Sutty hasn't got an answer, but Fury's out of this race. That's going to signify a safety car. There it is. Fury is out of this race. Gary managing to get that position just before the safety car was deployed. This is going to help Matt out massively. He's going to get a free pit stop out of this if he chooses to do so. But Gary 131 and Sutty Apex are having a great little scrap there, as Fury was trying to push as hard as he can to try and score points. He's out of this race. He'll score 3 points. So right now, Sutty Apex needs to score at least 8 points, I believe, to match Alfa Romeo. So he wants to score more than 8 so that he can finish ahead of Alfa Romeo for second place in the championship. Is Matt into the pits? Yes, he is. Does Big Boy Brasier come into the pit? Yes, he does. Gary and Sutty, what do they do? Sutty's pitting. He wants to get rid of those medium tyres. Gary's going to stay out on his mediums. Obviously currently double stacking at Aston Martin. Matt gets rid of his softs in replace of some medium tyres. Big Boy Brasier is going on to the soft. Sutty's going on to the soft as well. Rabbit Joe moves up into third place position. So it's Aston Martin 1-2 at the minute. Smithy in the chat said go on PN and DJ Phil, good points. As PN Motorsport is in the pits also, the front wing. Sutty now leaving the pits, and DJ Phil coming into the final sector. So we now bunch the pack back up once again, as DJ Phil choosing the pit. Unless he's got front wing damage, I don't see any point of him coming into the pits. As he's coming in, he's wanting to put some soft tyres on. Okay, so soft tyres for DJ Phil. Everyone pretty much on new tyres, but Rabbit Joe and Gary 131. Will Gary 131 allow Matt to go through? Or will he try and defend from his teammate? Gary would also love another race win. Martinovic had too many this season. Gary wants to finish this season on a high. Can he outdo his teammate here? Can he out-strategize him? as you've got 22 laps left to go of this F1 2021 season here at Simplay Motorsport. And if you like what you see here, guys, then please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit the bell to be notified so you do not miss a single action here at Simplay Motorsport. But it is going to be Gary who's going to restart this race. And make sure you tune in on Tuesday night, because the very popular British touring cars will be returning back on track for Silverstone National for the next round of the British Touring Car Championship. I believe it's round 6. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe it's round 6 of that championship. Make sure you tune in, as well as the GT3s will return to the track once again for a night race around Zolder, as we head to Belgium for the 9th and 10th round of the championship. Can Little Leach extend his championship lead, or will he lose out to the likes of Bryn and the rest of the Pro-Am grid, as Gary's trying to overtake the safety car around the outside, as Gary gets very close to the safety car there. I don't know if the two Aston Martin boys were trying to get alongside the Aston Martin, because it is Aston Martin 1, 2 and 3 as it stands. The safety car, Gary and Matt, all Aston Martin runners, as they're just waiting for DJ Phil just to get onto the back of this snake. It's amazing that we are down to 7 drivers. 7 drivers left in this race. As DJ Phil finally catches up to the back of the pack, so we should be able to go green. Who is going to come out on top as safety car comes in? Hopefully for the final time here at Simplay Motorsport. Can all these guys make it to the end? That is the question. Gary 131, Matt Ahimovic, and Rabbit Joe is your top 3 for this race so far. Rabbit Joe having a quiet race to himself, picking off people left, right and centre, and he is up into 3rd place position. What? As Fury says in the chat, the car dipped a wheel too much and then spun it into the wall, so a shame there for Fury, as we are about to get back underway here at Abu Dhabi, round 16. Gary 131, guys, who do you think is going to win this race down to the 7 drivers that are left? As Gary's gone for it, he's bolted, and he's given himself a decent gap over Matt on his restart. As Rabbit Joe, not the best restart for him either. He's got loads of pressure from Big Boy Brasier. But we are green once again here in Abu Dhabi, and Big Boy Brasier looking to make some moves on Rabbit Joe as quickly as he possibly can, as Matt has gone into the lead. Cuts the corner in doing so, and Gary goes back in front. The Aston Martin boys racing one another, and already Big Boy Brasier has cleared Rabbit Joe. Sutty is going to go around the outside of Rabbit Joe as well. So Sutty is wanting to stick with him, as they're both on the soft tyre. They're going to be much, much faster than the 2 Aston Martins, as Gary still leads this group. Big Boy Brasier is right there, as Sutty not had the greatest exits out of that corner. Matt Ahimovic with the slipstream. He's going to go down the inside of Gary 131. But Gary's going to hold it strong on the outside, and he keeps it planted there, and Gary stays ahead. Matt is then coming around the outside. This is going to invite Big Boy Brasier. Gary has to concede to this fight. He's had a poor exit and has lost out to these 2, but he's back in the slipstream. Is Gary going to send it up into turn? No, he doesn't. He has to sit behind, but these 2, they're so close to one another, Matt and Big Boy Brasier. Big Boy Brasier on the softer tyre, the faster tyre, and Sutty's just behind these 2 also. Rabbit Joe lost out massively there by staying on the medium tyre. But Piano Motorsport in 6th, 7th is DJ Phil. Those 3 are going to be battling out to the very end. So far, I think it's going to look like a 2-way fight for the win. Matt and Big Boy Brasier just seems to have a little bit more over the rest of the pack. Jamie is flying at the minute, setting purple sectors. Gary now under pressure on those older mediums. He's got Sutty right behind him. They continue their fight once again. Sutty, there's a lot of curb there, Sutty. But Gary's able to stay ahead. To go into the braking though, Sutty just clears the back of Gary 131 as DJ Phil was right on the back of Piano Motorsport. Matimovic carries on his way, but Sutty Apex is just behind. He's in the tow of Gary 131. Gary, no DRS yet, so Sutty's gonna have to do it old school, and he's gone down the inside, late braking Gary 131, and Gary's gonna stick it on the outside, try and get better traction, but he's all over the curb. Sutty will get better drive. There he goes on the outside, and Sutty Apex has got back through on those softer tyres, and he is back in third place position. Gary's just gonna have to wait it out. Rabbit Joe under pressure from PN Motorsport, who sends it down the inside. He has to give the space to Rabbit Joe. Rabbit Joe still hanging in there for that 5th place position, while DJ Phil isn't too far behind these guys either. PN Motorsport wanting to try and get some more points for Ferrari. Try and find a way past the Haas of Rabbit Joe. No matter what happens this season, it has been an epic fight between Matimovic and also Green Pies. Matt, fastest lap that last lap, a 39.4. DRS is now enabled. Big Boy Brasier is probably saving his battery so he can attack him this lap now that the DRS is enabled. DJ Phil into the pits. Yes, he has. So that is why DJ Phil's into the pits. PM Motorsport and Rabbit Joe are having a fantastic fight right now. But this is the main fight. Matimovic now is giving Big Boy Brasier a lovely tow as Jamie bouncing in and out of internet. But Jamie has got the DRS. Down to the head, slow left-hander. They go, and Matt stays ahead of Jamie. Jamie not with the best exit there. DRS wide open for the Ferrari as they come down towards the final few, down into the 3rd sector. Jamie's on the outside, Matt's on the inside, and Jamie has to go wide a little bit. He is purple in the middle sector, so Jamie is attacking. Sutty Apex now is hoping that these two can get into a little bit more so he can start to slowly creep onto the back of them. Gary's strategy and Rabbit Joe's to stay out on the medium tyre has not worked. Their tyres are just starting to die out now and lose performance. PN Motorsport still on the back of Rabbit Joe. Rabbit Joe's gone wide. PN Motorsport on those softer tyres is going to be interested as Rabbit Joe nearly drops it. Rabbit Joe manages to keep it on track and PN Motorsport gains that position. But now, Big Boy Brasier still stuck behind Matimovic. As they come up the hill, Jamie really attacking the curbs. As Matt defends the inside, and Jamie gets right back of the Aston Martin. Can he find a way through? That is the question. As they now drag their way down the back straight. Jamie will have DRS. Does he look down the inside? No, he thinks better of it. Now Sutty Apex is starting to creep his way back up to these two. At this rate, Sutty will be in a great position if these two start tripping over one another. There is the McLaren. Sutty doing everything he possibly can to score points for McLaren. To go into the slow section here. There's a yellow flag. That's Rabbit Joe. We have another non-finisher. That is another safety car. That's giving Gary 131 an opportunity to come in and put some fresh tyres on. He is not done yet. Can PN Motorsport get himself onto the podium for the first time? That is the question also. I'm also going to try and find try and get Google Dot the Google Sheets onto my phone so I can keep an eye on the championship standings. But Matimovic is leading this race, as Sutty Apex and Gary 131 have both come into the pit. Sutty putting on the soft tyre, fresh set of softs. PN Motorsport now up in the 3rd place position. Gary, and they're not going to lose out to DJ Phil. DJ Phil currently down in 6th place position, but still good points for DJ Phil. But the fight is between these two. But with Gary and Sutty on fresh softs, they can go, I think, to the end now, pretty much. If they look after those softs, they could possibly get to the end. As I do have it on my phone, perfect. I can now see everything on my phone. So the F1 tables, for McLaren to beat Alfa Romeo, they needed 5 points. So Fury's already secured that. So Sutty just needs to finish this race and they will become 2nd place in the championship. And Sutty is a bit way off of Gary 131 at this minute, and Green Pies won't be under threat from Gary 131. PM Motorsport won't catch Sutty. It's down to now Big Boy Brasier to finish ahead of Mazda. He just needs to outscore him by 3 points, and he will do so. Abe Smith won't be able to outscore Fury, so Fury will stay ahead of him. Rabbit Joe will finish in 7th, so he's not going to outscore Monkey Boy either, who's not able to defend. DJ Phil could possibly beat Rabbit Joe. He just needs to finish a little bit higher, as Big Boy Brasier is coming into the pits. Is he going onto the medium tyre? So is PN Motorsport. They're double stacking here. That's an interesting strategy. What are the two Ferraris trying to do? As they've both come into the pits, Big Boy Brasier has gone, as now PN Motorsport's been serviced as well. PN Motorsport now, these two have got some fresh softs. Matt's on mediums, he can go to the end, but everyone bar DJ Phil was on a fresh set of softs. So this is going to be an interesting end to the race, for sure. Let me just update the YouTube so that I can see. Got 15 people currently watching the stream, guys. If you haven't done so, then please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. My headset, not dropped the headset like Welshie would have done. I've unplugged the headset, trying to grab my phone charger so that I can be able to get to the end of this race. But we should be able to get underway once again. 15 lap sprint to the end. Matt is going to try and go 15 laps on a set of mediums that have only done 6 laps. Should be able to do so on them, but he's going to be under pressure from a lot of fast soft tyre runners. We are down to 6. Started with 15, down to 6. Guys, get your votes in for driver of the day also, and also who you think is going to win this race. It's still up for grabs. So many opportunities for different people to win here. Matt will control the pace. Sutty Apex in 2nd. 3rd is Gary. 4th is Phil. 5th is Jamie. And 6th is PN Motorsport. Who is going to be the final winner of this F1 championship? As the safety car pulls into the pits, and now Matt will control the pace. When does he want to go? He's got the soft tyre. Matt's getting ready. He's going to go in the final corner once again. Sutty will nail it now. Matt gets a wiggle on exit. Not what he wanted. The DJ Phil's into the pits just as we go green. I really don't understand what DJ Phil's strategy is there. He's got front wing damage once again. Yes, he has. He's probably hit something. But Sutty now right onto the back of Matt. Matt is under so much pressure from Sutty Apex, who is on those fresh soft tyres. He's going to look to the outside. He can't find a way through. Sutty not able to be able to pass Matimovic through here. He wants a good exit here, but he's got Gary, Big Boy Brasier and PN Motorsport. All these guys, top 5 going at it right now. They are all in each other's slipstream right now. PN Motorsport just keeping his nose clear a minute, hoping that these guys are all going to trip over one another. But it is Matimovic leading, Sutty in second. Sutty bounces over the curb. That does not help his exit. That's going to help Gary out. But Big Boy Brasier is on the inside. What a scrap for the final race of this season. Top 5 going at it. PM Motorsport's just dropped off the back of these lot. Big Boy Brasier has done Gary. Gary will want to come back at him. And Sutty Apex still wanting to keep up with Matimovic. DJ Phil, go on. Says Smithy in the chat, gutted. Tasty, top 5. Yes, this is going to be an interesting end to this race, Smithy. All these guys can still win this race, including PN Motorsport. He's just on the back of this group, but I think he's just taking his time. He's just being patient, just in case anything happens. But Matt continues on and leading this race. Sutty in second. Third is Big Boy Brasier. So far, Sutty, Matt and Gary have all had race wins. Big Boy Brasier and PN Motorsport, both in the Ferrari, have not had a race win. And Big Boy Brasier wants one so badly. Look at him, he's right on the back of the McLaren. He can't seem to find a way through there. It's Big Boy Brasier. As Sutty goes down the inside, he's going to do a Sutty's end it. He's on the inside of Matt, he gets a wiggle. That's going to invite Big Boy Brasier. There he goes. He's going down the outside of Sutty Apex. Matt gets a breather. Gary's watching this from behind. It looks like Sutty and Jamie running the similar setups. They're similar in speed as Sutty nearly drops it. Matt's very slow through this section. Big Boy Brasier gets a great run. We're going to go 3 wide. No, Big Boy Brasier is going for the race lead, but Matt's still able to stay in front. Matt is defending the inside. Big Boy Brasier wants that inside line, but Big Boy Brasier is going to the outside. They make contact. And Matt really pushing it here. And Jamie's gone off track. Now Matimovic will look to try and dive on Big Boy Brasier. He does so. They make contact. They're still making contact. Big Boy Brasier stays in front. Matt is defending for his life on those medium tyres. I've never seen so much contact between drivers. They hit each other again. Matt and Jamie in a minute are going to come off worse of this race, because they still keep hitting one another. Sutty Apex must be loving this right now. He's just behind these two and they just keep hitting each other. Big Boy Brasier with a better run up the hill. Matt is going to try and stick with it on the outside. He's not going to be able to do it, and he gets a wiggle. He's off. Matimovic has gone off and he makes big contact. He takes out Sutty Apex. Matimovic and Sutty Apex are out of this race. That means Big Boy Brasier leads this race from Gary 131, and PN Motorsport is in the top 3. This is exactly what PN Motorsport was hoping for. He's going to get on the podium. DJ Phil is going to get 4th place position. As you see there, Sutty and Matt are both out of this race. Big Boy Brasier leads this race. But look at that, PN Motorsport is now attacking Gary 131. The other Ferrari can sniff blood now on Gary. Can we get a Ferrari 1-2 as Gary has gone straight on there? I'm not sure what Gary was doing there. He's gone very wide and cut the track. And that's interesting line there from Gary. But Big Boy Brasier now leading this race. A second ahead of Gary 131. Oh, Gary bouncing all over the curb. Big Boy Brazier's internet really not liking this race so far. And Gary really is trying to stick with. So go through turn 1. Gary running wide. PN Motorsport not too far behind these two. If Gary and Big Boy Brasier come with each other, that's going to leave PN Motorsport and DJ Phil left in this race. But Big Boy Brasier still leading this race. He's got Gary 131 breathing down his neck. That's PN Motorsport in third place position, as well as Matt joins us in the commentary box. And
hello,
hello mate. And we're just under Gary here, just about to put Big Boy Brasier under massive threat, but we don't know where Jamie's car is going to be put next, because this lag is just all over the shot, and you've definitely become a bit hurt by that lag by any chance?
mate. You can't race him. You can't race him. It's unraceable.
Well,
Gary said the same thing. You can't get near him. So when you get near him, he's bouncing all over the place.
Well, Gary's going to give it a good shot nonetheless. He's going to try his best to try and find a way past that Ferrari. But at this minute, Gary's the only man left on track who has won a race here. Sutty and Matt both out of this race due to the lag of Jamie and Matt dropping it and then taking Sutty out with him at the same time as he comes back on track. But Gary now is hunting down Big Boy Brasier lap after lap after lap. Gary sets fastest lap of 38.6. Gary is flying. Well, PN Motorsport, if he just keeps it on the tarmac, he's going to get his podium that he wanted so badly this season.
I've just got to apologise to Sutty, Dan, because the lag put me out wide where Gary's been, and then I just span and caught the front of him. I actually had to control that. I didn't rejoin there. I didn't intend to rejoin there.
As we see here, Gary gets right on the back of Jamie, and then Jamie disappears
Jamie
again.
just vanishes. Where's he gone? Where's he gone? He's off up the road.
He's 1.3 up the road now. As I don't know if it was my internet or if it's Jamie's internet. We did have internet issues earlier on, but it's now I've switched a few things. It seems to be all good now, but I don't think my laptop wants to connect to the internet at this stage. But Big Boy Brasier still leading this race. He will, at this rate, will win a race thanks to his lag. That's what's the word? Familiar sight in the pros, for sure. But nonetheless, Jamie, this is his last opportunity to win a race, as Gary and PN are going to be following him home at this rate, but Gary will not allow that to happen for sure. So we've just got to make adjustments. Sorry about that, guys, just so we can hear the track more than the party. But Gary not able to attack Jamie now. Jamie's now extending his gap. He's got one tyre life over Gary right now. One lap. And Gary running a little bit wide there. I think this is just how it's going to finish off, unless Gary can find some form of pace. But this man, he'll be so happy that he'll come home in this third place position. And Matt, obviously we're coming to the end of this championship. It's been an epic season of F1. Obviously yourself and Gary are Constructors champions, yourself champions. It's been a very, very long season, but it's probably a good thing we've finally come to an end, because I felt like this season was never going to end.
It's had that feeling at times, and tonight, geez, I didn't think we were ever going to get started. The amount of laps we've done behind the safety car, it's 15 started and 4 are going to finish. It's been a long season, but just want to say as well, massive congrats to yourself for keeping the coverage going, and the massive push you've done on the commentary to keep it going on your own and keep the entertainment flowing, as well as the drivers out there on the track. But yeah, you're right, it comes to an end, and what a shame it ends in such a dismal fashion for myself and for the 11 other drivers, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely so. As Gary's now got DRS, he's managed to creep back onto Jamie at this stage. So if these two take each other out, PN Motorsport, he could have a race win to his name.
That'd be absolutely brilliant if PN Motorsport got a win, or if DJ Phil got a win.
Crazier things have happened here at Simplay Motorsport, and also, obviously, this season, obviously defending, obviously other than winning the championship and winning the constructors, what has been the highlight for you this season?
Australia, I think, is the biggest highlight for me. A first and a fifth for Floyd. Nice to see Floyd on his first race come away with points and a finish in the end. The only race he's actually finished all season was the first one. I think that was one of the highlights.
He looked alright here this evening tonight, and it just seems like one mistake on his own and he was out of this race. So but nonetheless,
he gets very frustrated with himself, and I think one mistake leads to another mistake and leads to another mistake. Something he's obviously, with him being young, something he's got to learn as a driver to, when he makes that mistake, reset.
Yeah, definitely.
And go again. So that's something he's got to work for, and hopefully we'll see Floyd back next season, but we'll have to wait and see. But with the F2s coming soon, Dan, I'll be streaming that one. You're racing that one. The F2s could be providing some great, fascinating fun.
Yeah, I do prefer the F2, so I'm going to actually get onto track. And we're not going to do a full race, as we've learned this season that it is very long-winded. Even the drivers don't want to complete the full distance. I feel some of them has deliberately crashed out so they can get the race over and done with. But nonetheless, you've got these two still battling it out on track. Pierre still in third, and DJ Phil. I've got to say, Pierre Motorsport and DJ Phil have probably been the most consistent drivers this season to just keep going. You know, I think they're the ones who finished the most races, other than PN crashing on his own in Brazil with 1 lap to go. Was it Brazil? No, Mexico. That was the one.
Mexico. Yeah.
He'll haunt me for saying that, but nonetheless, it's been a great season. I currently can't see the tables right now, so you're gonna have to adjust all of them and give me the sheets at the end, because my laptop for some reason is not wanting to connect to the internet ever since we had that blip, and I don't know what has caused it to blip like that. But it's been a great season. F2's on the way, and on circuits that we've never been to on F1 so far, and some familiar circuits once again, and also the rumours of an ACC league as well. Some people will be interested of that as well. Obviously on the PS4 is what we'll be looking to do so, not on the PS5. So if you've got a PS4, you might have to blow off the cobwebs, get it back into working condition, and get on ACC so that you are able to race on there, where I'll be commentating and you'll be racing, Matt.
Yeah, this seems to be the way this is going at the moment, isn't it? You do one thing and I'll do the other. Obviously, you was doing World Endurance while I did this. We had to sadly lose World Endurance, unfortunately. But then now you're getting to do the F2 and I'm getting to do the ACC. The ACC is not till the GT3s on Project Cars are finished, so at the minute we're still having the touring cars and the GT3s Pro and Pro-Am, and F2 will run alongside that in a couple of weeks' time on the Sunday night. But ACC will be coming in the off-season, because we're looking to have a bit of a bigger off-season this time around, meaning that we're going to bring, and we're hopefully going to bring you, me and Dan were discussing this the other night. I've spoke with Mike, I've spoke with Kieran about it as well, an array of events. GT7, Assetto Corsa Normal Edition, look to do something on there, as well as the season of this ACC, maybe the back end of the F2 season. We've got 8v8s, we've got Indies, we've got all sorts planned coming up in the near future over the next couple of months here at Simplay Motorsport. So do make sure you keep checking out what we're doing at the moment, and do make sure to get yourself on the Discord, the Facebook, and give us a message if you want to participate in any championship, because there's a lot of events coming up that I think people will enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. So I think we've discussed possibly doing IndyCar once again, the Indy 500, try and get that under our belt. Possibly look to, in the future, maybe do a charity event for the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Yeah,
it's something that we're possibly looking into doing. V8 supercars, we're talking about the Bathurst 1000 in the V8 supercars on Project Cars 2. There's so many events that we're thinking of. Maybe possibly going back to a little fun event that we didn't really get to finish, Matt, was the Rallycross Championship that we did start.
Yeah.
But we never got to finish, obviously, due to other circumstances going on in the real world. But nonetheless, we could have that possibly back. There's so many options, some events on Gran Turismo 7, and obviously we can't discount Formula 1. We could possibly be back for Formula 1. Obviously not 100% Grand Prix. However fun it's been, it is quite long for not just us, but obviously the drivers as well. So there's all sorts of things that are around the corner, but if you want to be a part of it, then you're in the right place. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss a single bit of action. And also, like Matt said, have a look at our Facebook, have a look at our Discord, get involved. And I've also got one thing else to comment, Matt. The British Touring Car Championship this season has blown up Simplay Motorsport.
Mate, like you wouldn't believe, over the past week, this week alone, from last Sunday to now, even tonight we have received 3 new subscribers. We have received about nearly 20 new subscribers in a week. And the fact that you guys watching and the public have got a touring car stream, bearing in mind, you look at other racing leagues now, they are dropping Project Cars because it is dead. We have managed to just get over 1,000 views. Our first video, stream, whatever, to get over 1,000 views. You guys are absolutely insane. You guys are incredible for getting the stream shared around and for watching the streams. It's not easy, and it takes up a lot of time. Personal time that, you know, we've all got a personal life to live. It takes up a lot of time, so we've got to thank our families, our wives, our partners, our mums, our dads, our girlfriends, children, whatever, for the time that they let us do this. But you guys as well, absolutely incredible. The 1,000 views, it's over 1,000, it's 1,008 views, I've just looked, is absolutely immense that you guys have put on for us. And keep this coming in, because this, whether it's F1, Touring Cars, GT3, keep supporting the channel, because this community is growing ever more.
It is indeed. Hopefully sooner or later we will be able to make the leap and jump to PC, but obviously still keep in mind of our PS4 and PS5 runners as well. But nonetheless, what?
I have not seen that tyre performance stat on the streams at all this season. Oh,
the tyre track comes up all the time. It comes up at the start of the stream for us, so you're able to see.
It's just come up tyre performance in terms of what Gary's to PN's tyres are like in terms of wear on my screen. I don't know if you've just got that.
Nope.
Oh, my stream's just got that. Well, there we go. Hey.
That's interesting to know. But sadly, we don't have that to our disposal. But it is still Big Boy Brasier who's leading this race. There is a race still going on, even though it's only 4 cars left. But it's got to be... I've got to get some votes in on the chat for driver of the season. Obviously, driver of the day, we're going to have to come down to that as well. But driver of the season, guys, get your votes in on that. Massive thank you to...
Is there any drivers you want me to put on there and I can make a poll?
Wow, yourself is for one. Green Pies, another. Gary131, I would say, is another one as well. And let's say, who else has been spectacular this season? Sutty Apex, possibly, when he's made his appearances, I would say.
Yeah. Well, that's the top 4 in the championship, so yeah, I don't see why not.
Get your votes in on who you think was driver of the season. But nonetheless, we're coming down to the end of this race. Put your votes in for driver of the day in chat, and we'll have a look at that. I've already put my vote in, just because I think for me, myself, the highlight for this season, Matt's not going to like this, nor is Green Pies, but Mexico for me was the highlight of this season. Gary131 and Sutty Apex put on an amazing show at Mexico. And
it was definitely one of the races of the season. Yeah, I will have to agree with you on that. That was one of the races of the season. One
other highlight had to be Monaco, and DJ Phil and Gary131 with the most pit stops in one race. That was absolutely brilliant. But what a season we've had this season. It's going to finish with a Ferrari on top. Ferrari are probably the strongest car in the F1 2022 championship at this minute, but not leading the championship as it stands. The car that's leading the championship is the car that DJ Phil is in. Is he Sergio Perez? Is he Verstappen? If he was Perez, he was probably told to come into the pit and get out the car so that Verstappen can finish the race. But
do you think that PN's family are going to feel disappointed that the Scuderia Ferrari team didn't play the team orders so that PN could win the race, like Jos Verstappen did with Max, do you reckon?
I think PN Motorsport's just going to be so happy that he's going to finish the race.
Yeah, he's going to be buzzing to be on the podium.
He is indeed.
What's that? The last 3 races was 3rd place, crashed out on the final lap, got a 4th last week at Interlagos, and now he's going to get a 3rd place. PN, you can just see the improvements he's made all season, can't you?
Yeah, you can, and I don't want to curse him now, but we haven't still quite got to the penultimate lap. That's where he seems to be his Achilles heel, is the penultimate lap of the race. So we'll see if PN can get to the end, and we can have a lovely chat with PN Motorsport himself. He does run his own Twitch channel as well. I'm not sure exactly what the tag is. I think
it is just PN Motorsport UK.
If you have a look at his Twitch as well, give him a follow on there. He does stream every single time he races. He also does all sorts of different content as well. He's got a massive following already, so please give PN Motorsport a massive follow on his Twitch account. He's done this whole season he's done it in the Ferrari, all on his own for some of it, and he is coming home to finally get what he deserved, the podium. As Gary goes really wide through the final few corners there. But track limits, I think, has just been thrown out the window now. I think Gary's got damage. No, he hasn't. But are you looking forward to Tuesday night, Matt? The British Touring Cars, obviously, with their popularity, they're coming back again on Tuesday. We head to Silverstone National. I believe there's possibly some weather lurking around.
Little bit of weather lurking around at the minute. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Tuesday because we're coming into the business end of the touring car season already, which is quite surprising. That's flew by. And it's going to be interesting because we've got Silverstone and then Brands GP, and the top 12 will get to do an extra 2 races at Knock Hill for the finale of the championship. Silverstone's a track, Dan. You may not be enjoying it as much in your Astra, but I think if that weather does come, the BMW could be a car to watch, especially in Gary 131's hand. I think it's going to be a car to watch anyway, because Gary seems to always get the best out of it. But Silverstone provides good racing. It's not the layout I enjoy the most. I'd rather the other layout. But with it being the British Touring Cars, we're following their real calendar. So I think it'll be an interesting night of racing.
Yeah, definitely so. And also, let's have a chat about, obviously, the F1 obviously coming to an end. But the more important thing that everyone here is after, the championship they all want, is the GT3s. Yourself in the Pro. We're heading to Zolder next for the 5th round of the championship. A lot of stewards inquiries had been coming in, a few people being little naughty boys throughout COTA, but we head to Zolder next, and a circuit that might favour a bit more of a chassis type car instead of a power car for sure. Your Mercedes, I feel, might struggle at Zolder, as Gary's coming into the pits, possibly for a fresh set.
He's looking for fastest lap. Yeah, I reckon he's going to look for the fastest lap. He's got that 3 seconds over Pienks. He has got a 3-second penalty to his name, so he's looking for that fastest lap from Jamie. Yes, Zolder coming up. I'm not too sure. I don't know. My car seems to feel nice around there. But there's weather around for Zolder. I checked the weather a little earlier today. 50% chance of rain for the Pro-Ams, and thunderstorms around as well for them. And unlike COTA, where we had the thunderstorms around, the drainage system was very good, not a lot of puddles. I tested 25% chance of rain there last night with a few Pro-Am guys. It's a different ball game at Zolder, so I kind of hope it stays dry for Thursday night. For Pro-Am, the weather is looking very mixed at this moment in time. But Zolder, you're right, chassis circuit, which I have to say, based off the domination of last Wednesday, Ukbar has got to be right up there. But let's not count out the other cars with a decent chassis. The Audis, little each. Can he get back onto form? Smithy's just got a podium, clearly back into a bit of form as well.
The man who actually chose the circuit was Smithy himself, where he last took his only race win was at Zolder in wet conditions. He managed to beat KLF. The last time we raced at Zolder, I was actually in a hospital bed watching the race. This time I get to sit and watch the race from the comfort of my home, but not race it. The last time I did race it was behind the pad, and that was horrendous on its own. But it should be an interesting one for sure, as Smithy already in the chat saying rain from Pro-Am.
He's already wanting the rain.
But we'll keep an eye on the weather. But nonetheless, this season is going to go right down to the wire, especially for pros as well. Overtaker extending his championship lead over COTA, but there's still a lot of races to go. We've still got the likes of Daytona.
He's got 35% wear on his front right tyre. It's just come up again compared to Gary's 1%. Obviously, Gary's just pitted, so Jamie's tyres are a bit old. But yeah, you're right. Zolder's going to provide some fantastic action. Like you say, last time we was there, you was in the hospital bed. So it's going to be nice to have you in the commentary box on Wednesday night.
Alive.
With me, because obviously I missed you last time. We had Bozzy Boy in there with us last time commentating on Smithy. But the next 3 tracks are actually interesting tracks picked by Pro-Am drivers. So Spa, we know, can do a bit of everything weather-wise, and always seems to do a bit of everything. Zolder, again, every time we've been to Zolder, GTE, GT3, and this time, there's always been rain around, and there's rain around for this week. So, you know, interesting to see that. And then we go to Silverstone Classic, brand new to the calendar this year. We've just seen it in the touring cars, and I think we had it in the Clios when we did the Clios. But Dean Wysocki picked that, where he took his only race win in another league, which was his first ever sim race. Obviously, he's won at Simplay at Snetterton. So 3 tracks, 3 very different tracks coming up at this moment in time.
Sati says in the chat, Matt, you hit me again, questionable. Yeah, we got a lot of circuits coming our way that they're going to be very interesting for the GT3s. We also go back to Oscherslaben as well. A couple other circuits that are there that's going to cause maybe a couple problems for other people. But nonetheless, Matt, we're coming to the end of this F1 championship. Yourself is the drivers' champion. Aston Martin are constructors. But winning the final race of the season, finally a different winner once again. Big boy Brasier, Jamie Brasier, is going to finish Abu Dhabi in first place position. Congratulations to Jamie, and a massive congratulations to his lag for helping him out in this one. So he will take the race win on that one. And Gary 131, is he going to get fastest lap of the race just at the end? Comes towards the line. Yes, he does. Yeah. So Gary still has extra points, and he will take second place position. The pole man comes home in second. But this man, he's going to be so happy. PN Motorsport is going to come home and take third place position. 4 cars left. It feels like Monaco all over again, where Olivier Panis took the race win because there was only other like 3 or 4 cars left on track, and it's the same here. And DJ Phil is going to come home. I think this is his best finish of the season. Will be 4th overall. And the finishing order is Big Boy Brasier, Gary, PM Motorsport, DJ Phil. The non-classification drivers starts off with Mata Himovic, Sati Apex, Rabbit Joe, Fury, Bryn, Goten Duffin, Lucas Roth, That Buzzy Boy, Argent, A. Smith, and Craig. But nonetheless, it's been an absolutely awesome season. DJ Phil comes home and completes the order. 4 car finishes here. And I can't see the poll for the driver of the season.
67% me, 33% Gary.
So Matovic wins driver of the season. I think it was PN Motorsport who got driver of the day there, was it?
I think so. I'm just adding them to the party for you, so I didn't see it.
Perfect. So as we get them into the party,
would you like me to run through the final standings?
Oh yes, please.
So the Drivers' Championship, Mata Himovic takes the win, 47 points clear of green pies, with Gary in 3rd on 188. Such Apex rounds out the season in 4th, with Big Boy Brasier taking that crucial 5th place spot, 1 point clear of his teammate in 6th. Mazda Dan in 7th with Fury 8th. A. Smith 9th, Monkey Boy in 10th. DJ Phil Green tied with him for 11th. Gelram in 12th with Rabbit Joe 13th. Muchnuts 14th. Argent down in 15th place with KLF and That Buzzy Boy tied for 16th. Bryn down in 18th place. Started to score some points towards the back end of the year with Craig E 19th place. Keegs in 20th. Goten Duffin ahead of Gillick Joe, Leon Fernie and Two Shot for you. And then the constructors looks like this. Aston Martin win the Constructors' Championship with McLaren getting 2nd place. Alfa Romeo in 3rd with Ferrari 4th. 5th place for the Williams team. 6th for Haas. 7th for AlphaTauri with Alpine 8th. Red Bull 9th and Mercedes in 10th.
And congratulations to Aston Martin and Matimovic for champions. Also Gary 131 being Constructors Champion as well. As we're just getting the top guys into the chat. Matimovic wins driver of the season, but it is Big Boy Brasier who takes the last win of the season, and he's been hunting it and hunting it and hunting it. He nearly didn't race it, but he is here and he has taken the win. We're just waiting for PN Motorsport to join us in the party. I bet he's lost and confused because he's never been this high up. But
yeah, he is.
And I bet Jamie, he was very excited that he managed to finish on the podium for the final race.
I think he was on the verge of tears.
We have actually now got him in the party. PN Motorsport, congratulations. It is taking 16 rounds. You've managed to get through the penultimate lap and not crash it. Congratulations on P3. Well deserved, mate.
I've got a nosebleed from this. I'm not used to finishing this high. Not in F1. GT maybe.
Nonetheless, you've managed to do it. You said all season that you wanted at least 1 podium. You've managed to finally get it on the last race. How does it feel?
Good. Finally. Oh, I've got to hear myself again in the broadcast. Let me just turn that down. Oh, that was hard.
I mean, there was only 4 of you left in the race. All you had to do was bring her home, and you had the podium in the bag. But what a hectic race. There was cars going off left, right, and centre. But you've managed to keep your nose clean. You managed to stay out of all the trouble. Tell us about how that race went, and and what your plans after the F1 Championship?
Well, I don't know about F1 22, but... And that race, it was just survival. It was worse than Monaco. Not gonna lie, it was worse than Monaco. I think I nearly went through as many front wings as I did in Monaco.
Obviously, with there's rumours around that we're going to be probably doing an F2 Championship. You've done the F1. Are you up for the F2s?
Yes. I love the F2 cars in this game anyway. I think they sound... they sound better than the F1 cars, not gonna lie.
Fair play. Well, congratulations on P3, and I think most of us in the Scottish Rocks are very happy for you to be finally on that podium step. So congratulations.
Yep, cheers, alright.
We then move on to the only running Aston Martin left, as Gary 131 comes home to finish in second, takes fastest lap of the race. Gary, what a hectic race that was. 1 minute you're leading the race, you took pole position, next minute you're at the back, you're last, but you managed to come back through and finish second. Congratulations, mate.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, that was a good race in general. There's lots going on and not a lot of battling with other drivers apart from Sutty for a few laps, but yeah, that was up and down the grid all race really.
I did actually mention in the build-up towards the end of this race that my highlight of the season was yourself and Sutty going at it at Mexico. That was an awesome race to watch you two go at it again. And once again, you two carried it on once again here at Abu Dhabi. It's brilliant to see. And it was very difficult towards the end there. Jamie's internet just seemed to stop you from having a proper good go at attacking him by the looks of things.
Towards the end, it was like it throughout the race. It was... couple of laps he was in the grandstand. I don't know what the hell was going on. That's why I let him go to start with, and sort of I think Sutty had the same idea, and yeah, we just sort of let it develop really. But yeah, is what it is.
And also we've got to say congratulations on the constructors as well, and I think you finished third in the championship. Not quite able to catch green pies at the end, but nonetheless you've been a star here at F1 and we thoroughly enjoyed watching you.
Yeah, I'll take that. Like I said, I don't get to practice this game much, so yeah, me and Matt brought the constructors home, and congratulations on the title, Matt. And yeah, good podium for yourself, PM, and well done, Jamie. And also, I forget what else I was going to say, but yeah, all good fun.
Are you interested in doing the F2s?
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Have to see. Nonetheless, mate, congratulations on P2 at the final round of the championship.
Cheers, boys. Well done.
As we now come on to your race winner, Big Boy Brasier finally gets that race win he was looking for. Jamie, it's taken a long time, but you are finally on the top step of the podium. Ferrari back on top. How does it feel?
It feels really good. Before I say anything else, I just want to apologise to Matt and Sutty if I lagged into them for the incident. So I've got no control over it, and I didn't know I was lagging until halfway through the Grand Prix, and I couldn't do nothing about it. So Matt and Sutty, I just want to apologise to you two and anyone else I lagged into. But yeah, I didn't really have much control over it. But yeah, it's good to be back on the top step. I felt I had good pace throughout the Grand Prix. It's just quite a difficult track to overtake. There's only a few overtaking opportunities, especially down at the end of the two DRS zones, and I made quite a few moves there. But yeah, very good.
Nonetheless, you and PM Motorsport towards the end of the season managed to get Ferrari all the way back up into 4th place position in the championship. So nonetheless, a great job from you two. And you managed to get the prancing horse back on the top of the podium. How has it been racing with PM Motorsport?
Oh, it's been brilliant racing with PM Motorsport. He's such a joy to race with. So he's a really good teammate as well. And so just like coming in on a Sunday evening, chatting to about F1 and yeah, just getting some good results for Ferrari.
Well, congratulations on the race win, mate. Will we see you in the F2s?
Yeah, I will be looking to do the F2s.
Well, keep an eye out for Big Boy Brasier, hopefully going to go for the title in the F2s. That is it from the F1 Championship. That is the season complete. Abu Dhabi has come to an end. The championship come to an end. Matt Imovic is a 2-time champ with the Pro-Am and the F1 title to his name. Gary can add another Constructors title to his name. He's now a 3-time Constructors champion, one with Aston Martin and 2 with his teammate for the Lichi Legends. But that is it for F1. We are done. Make sure you choose in on a Tuesday night as the British Touring Cars will return as we head to Silverstone National. Can Fury extend his championship lead, or can Cobb, myself, or WSRCJ get that gap down? And then make sure you tune in on Wednesday and Thursday night as the Pro-Am and Pro Boys return back on track as we head to Belgium for Zolder for round 5 of the championship. Round 9 and 10 as rain is lurking. Can Smithy get another race win back at Zolder in the wet conditions? Can Overtaker extend his championship lead, or will Matimovic, Andy, or any of the other guys manage to stop him? But from myself and everybody here, massive thank you to everybody who has watched this F1 championship. It's been a long season, but we have finally come to an end. Aston Martin are champions, Matimovic is champion. A massive thank you. And if you haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified, and let's get as many people on this channel as we possibly can. But from me, it's good night.